This is Semicolon Fingers, a project aimed at addressing the loneliness epidemic in the world. The project is under active development for the MVP and as such is not currently live. So let's talk about how does it work. It in essence, it is a storytelling platform where stories are associated with an emotion which gets converted to a color. Uh, and these stories, as they are read, they trigger mining events for the writer, thereby dripping new tokens for the writer. This dripping provides a clear signal that there is someone out there who has connected with or related to or engaged with a story, thereby reducing loneliness a tiny fraction amount. There are two sides or entry points into the network, the writing side or empty your mug, or the reading side, which is pull my thread. Um, let's see it in action. On the writing side, a user comes in and they have to select a color which corresponds to a base emotion. So red would be an angry story, blue would be a sad story, yellow would be a happy story. Let's write a happy story. They're then presented with five different prompts, which correspond to more nuanced emotions. And let's say we select a prompt, at which point we write our story. And here I'm just copy pasting something. We move on and we title the story, uh, and then we put in our name and we publish our story to the network. This would create a new NFT contract on the app chain, and more on that later. After writing the story, they are also asked about how relieved they feel about writing the story. This informs the lightness value of the color scheme, or the hue saturation lightness color scheme, which you can read more about in the grant. Finally, on the reading side of the network, a user is expected to pull someone's threads. They're presented with like a random story in the color of that story or the emotion of that story and a big shuffle button. They can keep shuffling until they land on a story they do want to read. Let's say it is a blue story. And as they read and click through, each of these clicks is a mining event for the writer of the story. As these tokens are dripped to the writer, they give a clear signal to the writer that there is someone out there in the world that has connected with their stories. And given that the premise is that the writer is expected to write uh, heartfelt emotions and stuff they have bottled up, this effectively provides them a space with uh, to share their bottled up emotions. And the hope is that this reduces the loneliness burden that there is in the world. You can read more in the grant below.